and welcome to another great video. Today we're jumping into PocketBase hooks. If you didn't know PocketBase has hooks, well, you do now. I am not afraid to jump into some documentation. Combing through the PocketBase client SDK, I found PocketBase does in fact have two hooks. It has a before send hook that is triggered right before sending a fetch request. This has access to the URL and the fetch options object. Then there is also an after send hook that gets triggered after successfully sending the fetch request, and this one has access to both the response and the data. If you want to see how to use these, stay tuned. That's what we're doing right now. My application only has two routes, a home and a register. The register is just a stripped down form that we're going to use to trigger the API requests in order to test this out. Inside of my source code, what is important is that I have a register route. It has a plus page.server.js, and inside of here I have my register form action. Down towards the bottom of the action, I have two console.logs, one that will print out API request ran if the API request is successful, and another one that will print out API request errored if the API request has an error. I also have a hooks.server.js file, and this is where I am instantiating my PocketBase client. This also is going to be where I add in my hooks. Let's first just add in some console.log so that we can see what's going on here, and let's just put before the before send hook. To set your hook, all we'll do here is event.locals.admin.pb.beforesend. We're going to assign an anonymous function here, and inside of here let's just do a console.log that says before send ran. Now let's add another console.log in between the hooks, and then next we'll set up our after send hook. So event.locals.admin.pb.aftersend is assigned, and inside of here we'll just add in our console.log after send ran, and then we can put in one more console.log. Inside of that console.log we'll just put after the after send hook. Let's go ahead and give that a save. Immediately after saving that file, we can see the console.log that goes before the before send hook, the in between console.log, and the after send console.log. I'm going to trigger the form. I'm purposely triggering it so that an error will happen. I am spitting back the error message that comes back to the form. That's what's being displayed in the form there. In the console, we can see the messages that have been added here. We have the before send ran, after send ran, and API request errored. So we have our PocketBase hook that triggers before the fetch request is sent, triggering here. That makes sense. We have our after send, after the fetch request is successfully sent, then that hook runs, and then we have the API request inside of our form action triggering. That's what's console.logging the API request has errored. So that's the order in which things will be ran when you're playing with PocketBase hooks. Keep that in mind. I'm going to trigger the API request one more time. This time I will be triggering it successfully. In our console.log, we can see this runs exactly the same way. So the order is exactly the same whether the API request is successful or it fails. Now that we know what the order looks like, let's go ahead and get rid of all these extra console.logs. Let's add in as parameters to this function URL and options. And then inside of here, let's go ahead and add in the URL and add another console.log with the options in there. In the after send, let's go ahead and add in our response and our data. And we'll change the console.log here to have our response and the data. So let's save that and trigger our API request. Here I have triggered the API request one more time. This time, again, I purposely triggered it to error out. In our console, here we can see what we're getting inside of those hooks. We have the before send. There's the URL. That's exactly what we would expect. And then there's all of our fetch request options. The method, the body, the headers. You'll notice in here how PocketBase implements authorization. It uses the authorization header, and there is the token. In our after send response, there is the response that we got back from the PocketBase server with all of the cookies and headers, everything that came back, and then we also have access to the data. Lastly, you'll see our console.log, the API request errored, and again, that makes sense. That's exactly what we would have been expecting. So how is this helpful? Well, you can do pretty much anything you could possibly think of here. Let's, inside of our after send, let's just add in a little check. Let's do if response.status not equal to 200. Let's set the message to what we want. Let's just say your request failed. You could implement an entire error sanitization layer here, sanitizing your errors to be exactly what you want them to be, setting custom response statuses and messages just like this. So add this in there and then give that a save. Now again, trigger the form, but make sure that trigger it purposely causing an error. And you'll see that here we got the message back that we wanted, that we set. Says your request failed. Now you could implement this however you'd like. You can get as detailed as you'd like, adding in whatever logic you need for your project. So there it is. There is PocketBase hooks. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more great content. Comment below with your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Take care, and as always, have a great day.